how to be able to place one's body and mind properly in the framework of meditation, and knowing sort of what's the real way to place the body and mind properly in meditation. Now here, traditionally in the practice of meditation, to place the body properly in meditation, one must embrace the 7 important postures or positions of meditation known as 7 dharmas of Vajrayana, which requires the feet sitting in the full lotus position or the Vajra position, and the back absolutely straight, hand in the meditative position of equipoise, and so forth. So these days, obviously, because of the comfort that we are used to, it's a bit difficult. So while sitting comfortably in your sofa seat, in the Maitreya Buddha pose, and so sitting comfortably, so the first thing, as Rinpoche was demonstrating, first thing is, after the motivation, the resolve, the second thing is that, so taking the position of the body as best as you can, and then clearing away your residual breath 3 times. So with the residual breath, that after you're waking up, and breathing out 3 times, and this time simply that thinking that through your nostrils, maybe through your mouth and through all the pores of your body, all negativities accumulated in all former lifetimes, defilement, as well as whatever stand in the way of your meditation practice, whatever obscurations stand in the way of your meditation practice, all of them that exit your being through the different, like through the nostrils and pores of your body, and in the form of dark. So in the form of dark light, and then that upon the inhalation, so breathing out 3 times, and upon the inhalation, then you visualize, as Rinpoche demonstrated, a little bit lower. Upon the inhalation, is okay? Upon the inhalation, anyway, I'm loud enough, yes. So upon the inhalation, that imagining that you're receiving the blessings and beneficial qualities of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the form of white rays dissolving into yourself, and that will support your practice of meditation. So in this way, that during the breathing out and in 3 times, known as clearing away the residual breath.
Da chitang go mushi kyombala tede hine and hine yabo tar sona tar chimbayana lakdong and lakdong yabo tar sona and da chaja chimbos da tinde ke gom kona remba da wo sum yore da de song da de toma nga tinde hine se kite gomju da ke chimbore hi ne 이게 해도 가르잖아. 말아서 단다 쌤데 근데 녀몸 베겠네. 남도 그런데 좀 백독들이요래. 남도 발락 그나라에 내리요래. 안 됐다고 남도 그 발랍대 마 희송아 나도 단돈다고 했나 아니 단돈 발랍 마 차방 예 동바이나 아니 janzuki nangla 제게니야 다 강바당 조힘라 소베기 송예때도 탐제 나도 통투기도 와 발라 타고 쳤대 내가라 아니 송예서 강 통투기도 와 어다 빼대나게 나는 쌤 단다 남도 그 나올라 이야다 쳤디요 남도 쳤디요 이 남도 마 해고요 이 남도 해버지 바텔라 예스 네세도 네 맥과 강이나 지금 제직도 내봐 그러와 다 제니야 라이크 건다고 지금 나도 맥과 때 봐이나 아니 쌤디 다 예데 용 강라양인데 이 만도 봐지는 코랑을 제직도 근데 라네 내대와 어때라 다 네. 희에도 다 너나 쌤 남도 기시와 네세도 맥과라 제직도 내봐 내가 희 네세 다 되는 것도 gond에 희내기 네 것도
So one point that I forgot was Rinpoche said, so doing the clearing the residual breath 3 times. So again, this shouldn't take more than 1 minute, 2 minutes. So first one and this one. And now having done that, then one engages into the actual practice of meditation. For the actual practice of meditation in our Buddhist tradition, there is the traditionally phases of meditation practice. And first, Shine meditation of calm abiding, shamatha in Sanskrit, and then Hlaktong of pure insight, or that of Vipassana, and then Mahamudra or Chachen in Tibetan. So it is important that one begins at the beginning. And the beginning of the practice of meditation is creating the foundation. One starts with the Shine meditation of calm abiding. Now the Shine in Tibetan is 2 syllables. The first one is Shi. Shi is to pacify. And to pacify from what? Normally our mind is constantly in a state of sort of stirred up by all kinds of mental afflictions, distractions of mental afflictions. And it's like ocean with the constant waves of distractions. And so in this way, constantly stirred up. And when the ocean is being stirred up by the strong waves, no chances of seeing the reflection of anything, buildings or trees, what have you, because in order to be able to see reflections of houses or trees, there has to be calm, tranquil ocean water. But so therefore, constantly our mind is sort of in a stormy state of distraction, instigated by different mental afflictions. So first we must allow the mind to become pacified, realizing where the problem is. And then, through pacifying the mind from the turbulence of mental afflictions, then the mind should dwell. And that is dwelling, or ne, the second syllable, ne, is to dwell or to abide. Abide or stay with whatever object of meditation. And for instance, if the object of meditation is an image of the Buddha per se, and then not get caught up in all kinds of other peripheral distractions or peripheral objects, just stay put with the object in hand, that is the image of the Buddha or whatever such image, and sort of staying put with it and dwelling and in focus on it, then that is abiding or dwelling. So together, calm abiding or shine, pacified and staying at that way with whatever object of focus.
I shine gombatela in a mikpik ne that mikpik namdang mango yore. Pena in a I shine changes that semes in yore. That changes in the chiller that mikpik day than a soap table. I think a Cubanage that Sanjay Kunyan table. That mikpik dead. Young men, you get it that so that you get the wachilla, make what it. Youngna, you get a double. Youngna, you get home double. Yindu tabachilla in a cheek, that what the wachilla make what it. That day, now to you, Rinpo, said it to Ne took a mare. Hence and an announce same day, Chikunetan and a chicka, Pasak. Namdog and the Pazak Huchambore, and I hear him now. Karma checker. Namdog Mavas in the Hene. Same day, so the day together. Then Namdog toy. Yeah, I'm not shit to man to legal central. That the guy make the non sharing. Oh, to say, you know what name too much. I hear him put money and I. Karma checker la, and that make the ten la in the comjiche, topa in I on their tango. That's it, and by order. They want to Kale in the comjiche. Kale comjiche, ne? Then I am you, Rinpoche and Tetable comjiche, young times and Kama check the net to great. Young times and then Kama check the checker, Kama ni, Tetable net to great. Oh, yeah, that cheek in the dead. I am make them never said, can't none to call me. Sam Kron, and the Ramaga, Adia, my watching. That make them never, he needs a minute. I don't need it.
So, in engaging in the practice meditation in actuality, then one needs to one can work with the different objects of meditation, that is to support for cultivating the calm abiding experience of the mind. In general, there is sort of two divisions of objects of meditation, that is rather shine with object and shine without object. And so for the shine with object, there are numerous methods. One is, as I mentioned earlier, you can use a statue as an object to support you in maintaining the mind focus, stay put. And there are many other possibilities. You can use, for instance, the syllables of mantra, like it could be Om or Ah or Hum. Any one such mantra and syllable can be used as an object of meditation. So that is to say, to stay put with that object of meditation. Now to stay put, meaning that staying with it without getting distracted. And for whatever short time. Now for us, staying long without getting distracted almost not possible because of our habit of distraction, our habit of constantly being distracted. So, as such, that at the beginning, if one can stay with the object of meditation without getting distracted, even for 1 minute, and actually that is good enough. Or for that matter, half a minute is also good. That much is better than not at all. So that much is good in the sense of better than not at all. So to be able to stay undistracted for probably more than 1 minute or half a minute, probably it's difficult. You're trying to stay put, and then obviously because of the habits of the distraction, sort of eating, one, and say, oh, I might be late for work, and so on. And so therefore, now it's a matter of cultivating familiarity, step by step. If you can do it for 1 minute, that in itself is good. That means next time you can increase it up to 90 seconds. And next time you can increase up to 2 minutes and so forth. And so in terms of time. Now, so this is the example of Shine practice of meditation with object. And without object means sort of turning inwardly, using one's own mind as the basis for meditation. And that is that turning inwardly and learning to cultivate, to rest simply in the awareness of one's own mind, simply being present with one's own mind. So that is what is known as Shine without object.
깔짝하게 랭라 근데 쌤 거랑 여랑라 때들 항생에 쌀생에 때는 남가야 바빠다고 이제 냠냠 거밖에 쌤 거랑 그때 이유는 뭐내 말 세컨 가게 아 내가 이제 다 가마 체크 받네 다 뒤에서 된 남도 샤는 남도 간데 샤는 것은 다 배수는 거 기바이나 다 가서 네 보스 내가 가는 데 내가 보스 요라 이네 내가 된 적이 없어요 네 내가 따다 들려 어때 다 됐다 네 소소가 되게 가족 단계 내가 적는 동생이 보스 그때는 베스 넘버로 그게 동바라고 때 쌤랑 샤네 그 적는 동생이 이게 책도 쌤랑 샤네 다도 남도 되더라 다도 되는 샤 남도 대샤는 다 나도 공자 신게 얘나 야 다다 남도 돼 간일래 좀 다다 가와도 나라에는 비 가족 단계 적는 동생이 메디 동바 쌤랑 샤다 와대 다다다 이제 쌤랑 가와도 야고 땅제 제나 아니 그 책내봐야 해봐 대양 아니야지 다 야고 땅제 제나 니 대답을 이제 넘버 똑바 나는 남도 지어라 남도 샤다 와대 아니 내가 나도 똑바 땅제 야고 제나 요말 얘기 나도 너 카도 간데도 때 요말 예 간데도 얘기 말 최종 간데도 되나 얘기 말 다시 지나 얘기 말 많이 봐야나 양 다이쌤 그런 게 다시 당고 사스네 쌤이 동바 디나라 같이 가게 자 오제는 나도 남이 공다 잡주 개체버려 공안 내 가게 내가 돼요 공자도 남도 되는 쌤 그런 사스네 당스네 제가 지금 나올 때 준지 매봐 네 그남도 샤 된다지 고도 내가 돼 나한테 마중 남도 샤도 땅에 공대 돌아다 남도 돼 and 남도 제키다 도지여라 남도 빵거나 빵 두고 말이야 남도 당세 니건 가라네 바래 남도 딱 발람이 가라네 바래 초 발람이 가라네 바래 옛날에 와 아니 건 남도 당세 니 바래 아니 나야 남도 샤롱도 아니 남도 코라양 랑마시 바체네 남도 다 샤롱게 메디게 니야트네 이 동네에 남바 샤르마 계자 가르치야마 대래 나도 모시 바체네 비강라 양 마yen 바체네 ene 대드냐 바샤 같이 아때 샤바이나 이네스
So, with the Shine without object, cultivating how to allow one's mind to rest naturally and be present with it. And at the beginning, while it is possible because it's within the very nature of one's mind, nevertheless, because of all the unwholesome habits that we have, we may not be able to stay there long. But even if we are able to stay there for a few moments, for a matter of seconds, it is certain during that moment there is a tremendous sense of clarity, tremendous sense of freshness, of vividness, like the sky totally free of clouds, cloud-free sky. And so in this way, that if it is a few seconds, or if you can bring it a little bit further, 30 seconds, and so forth. So that in itself is good. But as I said, because of our such strong veils of habitual tendencies, will not be able to stay in that long. And some thoughts of distraction occurs. So to give you an example of what thought of distractions, what I mean by thoughts of distraction can take place. And so suddenly you might be distracted by thought. Yesterday, my boss at work, reprimanded me or, told me that I didn't do a good job, when I actually did my job well. And so in this way, then you start this monologue with yourself, and you sort of prolong this distraction, and you entertain yourself by allowing the face of the boss appear, and then now you can have an exchange. And these are the words that he said. Obviously, I don't like those words, and whatever unpleasant and so forth. And so you therefore start a monologue with yourself, and now in actuality, so in this way, if you turn around, like if you check, and where is the face right now in this monologue that you are having? Where is actually the face of the boss? That you have nothing to point at, other than your creation of your own projection. Then where are the words that you right now imagined that he said, and it was very disturbing? Where are the words? Nowhere to actually, no reference that you can actually point your finger at. And then, as for the thought that seems to have created these images, where are the thoughts? Where are the thoughts coming from? Where are the thoughts now? Are they in your brain, in your heart? And do they exist in the form of certain color, certain shape, or certain size, and so forth? And so in this way, upon scrutiny or analysis, you can't find. because there isn't anything, for that matter, to find. And when you are able to properly analyze this way, then possibility is you're back to spacious, clear, undistracted mind. So, having said that, another thing to be sort of warned is that certain people have the illusion that when it comes to meditation practice, meditation means, the good meditation means that no thoughts at all. That you are sort of free of thoughts. Your mind should be completely free of thoughts. So anytime any thoughts arise, that obviously spoils the meditation practice, because in your thinking, the meditation practice has to do equals to no thoughts whatsoever. So when thoughts arises, you have the thinking that thoughts spoil your meditation. And so anytime when you begin to meditate and thinking that it has to be without any thoughts whatsoever, you're immediately fearful of thoughts. But how can you be separate from, how can your mind be separate from thoughts? Thoughts are only expressions of the mind. They are together. You cannot separate. Thoughts are expression of the mind. Just as how to try to separate ocean and waves. Waves are nothing other than expressions of ocean. They are very much part and parcel of the ocean. So in this way, that the appearing of the face of the boss and the words and so forth is not the problem. The problem is not being able to look at them the way it should be, that in that sense, that they lack the truth of independent existence, and upon seeing that, sort of they sort of self dissipate on their own. So then as you progress with your practice of meditation, in fact, not only arising of the thoughts is not an obstacle to the practice of meditation, but they can be support to the practice of meditation. And you can use them as support. For instance, when thoughts arises, you analyze or you check where the thoughts are arising from, and in checking, that cease to exist. Rest in the awareness of that ceasing to exist. And when the thoughts arise and you have the idea that some thought is a reference point that exists, then analyze in what form does it exist, in what color does it exist. Obviously, fails to have those things, and therefore, by their own, that by examining in this way, they're sort of these thoughts dissolve on their own. So in this way, that becomes support to the practice of meditation. So, for instance, in general, we might prefer like a calm, clear ocean. But for those who are good at surfing, or then good at whatever swimming, or that maybe the bigger the wave, the more turbulent, maybe the better. They have more to play with and more to sort of, go along with it sort of thing. So in this way, that more wave, the more sort of turbulent they are, the better for the excitement or better for the surfers.
yang uk su chatang ngo sem de ne uk dang nyam do la ma yong ene de chatang chi chong wa de ene sem ji che tang ga chi ge yang uk pa dang so ngo ni pa dang yang so ngo sum se uk de ni ya chin de ma da yo ma da de yo uk khang ga rang he khang ne ba ka rang 다때 장가 니슈 딱지 기른 라마노와 다다 니 딱지 장장 토바이나 에네 센데 다 내기게 따래 일단 옥 장가 자네 거 개와 열세야 개져요 말에 옥 장가 노르송바는 다 디과 열세야 개져 말에 옥데 센데 옥다 냠도 내다 마네 딱지 지야게 돈다래 도전에 아니 다 니주 딱지 봐도 마노와 장가자 토바이나 센데 내기요 따래 다 장가카게 노르송 와이나 계식 말에 센데 제고 말에 다 노르송 양자 단 노르송 대지 쮸나 쭉제나 때때랑 좀 봐도 다 양자네 저기 야고치네 때 마영 같이네 장가자 마상감 저거지 다 때도 센데 마영 같이네 제고래 양자 장가자 되네 고사자체는 된 노트 말해. 뭐 된데 니도 딱지 그ren가 오도 장가 되네. 아니 사체니 된데 삼삼 검토 바이나 기라야 보여래. 대 배수식데. 다 신내는 땅 못봐 망고야. 다 배수식데. 땅에 배수 수업시 봐봐. 다기 상제 콜라면 받아야 지다. 쌤 코랑 게네 같은데 제네 때문에 봐. 제네 쌤 코랑을 못 받아야 지다. 근데 롱라 이네 때네. 오카드 옥라 옥 장가자네 이네 같은데 고비아지 다 숨도 저기 이네 휴반 봐. 뭐다 때처럼 삼삼 겁나.
So now as for the method of the practice of Shinrin meditation, there are many methods. Obviously, we don't have the time to go into such details, but I want to share one such method with you. And this is something quite personal in that this involves your own breath. So using your own breath as support for the practice of meditation. And so for that, simply allowing your body and mind to rest naturally, and then that pay attention. What you breathe out and breathe in, and when you're breathing out, your mind is with your outgoing breath, and be present rather. And when you're breathing in, your mind is present with your incoming breath. And as for how you breathe, normally, naturally, however you breathe, don't have to try to make it faster or slower or anything else except how one normally breathes in and out. Here, the important point is that your mind is present with the breath. So therefore, when you breathe out, your mind is present with it. When you breathe in, your mind is present with it. So for exhalation, inhalation, for the two, you count it as one in your mind. Counting is in your mind. So your mind is present with the outgoing and the incoming, as well as with the counting mentally. Then you breathe out, be present with it. Breathe in, be present with it, counting that as two, and so on. So in this way, you do it up to 21 times. So exhalation, inhalation as one, counting in your mind is 21. And so, so what this is for is, this is to see, sort of to check if your mind can be present, if your mind can stay with the breath, undistracted. So if you are able to do it well, it doesn't mean, you have done something very virtuous, and if you fail to get to the count, then you have done something non-virtuous. It's not like that. And so, obviously, because of our habits of distractions, we might mistake and lose the count. Nothing to worry about it. What is important, nevertheless, is to realize, for instance, you make mistake and now you think you kind of lost it, you're not sure whether it's 10 or 11. And then, when you're not so sure or you got lost, then obviously you restart and a little bit more attentively, and you try to get it up to 21. And so we have the ability, if we are a little bit sincere, if we are a little bit more sort of careful, more tuned in, we know we can do it. So in this way, count it up to 21 times. Maybe this time you didn't make any mistake. What that means is, so you've been able to have the mind present with the breath as well as with the mentally counting until 21 times. So it's very good. So if you can in your daily life apply this time and again, that would be very good. So now I have shared with you 3 methods. And one is to be present with the image of the Buddha statue, for instance, and not to get lost and caught up in whatever peripheral objects of distractions. And if you do, you bring back your mind to the image of the Buddha, and that with object, and then just being present with the mind and the various aspects, how to bring it back, as Rinpoche has explained, and so the without object. And then this third one, Shine practice of meditation, using one's breath as support. So I've shared these 3 with you, and I would encourage that you apply them, as much as often as you can.
tablam sabhyuyang denbare. Tesonga, and Nimo Paro, Leki Pansam, and the Kama checks it. Come to Tenhi Tenge Tenge. That Pekale Kapo, not that Pekale Kapo de Young Tablam to you awesome. Karitabam, come pass and come like that. It was none, can I your it?
So, while I have shared with you 3 methods, it's not necessary that you apply all 3 methods in one day. Obviously, of course, you don't have time. Or you have this excuse or reason that you don't have time. So one can apply just one method. And that also just maybe 2 or 3 minutes one day. Cultivate familiarity for 2 or 3 minutes. So that much you can do, and it would be useful. So now, at the beginning I was telling that at least out of 24 hours, you should be able to extend to yourself the generosity of 10 minutes. And so, we're talking about 10 minutes. First, upon waking up, creating the proper framework of mind, making the wholesome resolve, take not more than 1 minute, and then clearing away the residual breath 3 times, and then the applying whatever Shine meditation practice, 2 or 3 minutes. And so after that, you go to your work, go for work. Now, while you are at work also, there are opportunities for you to bring your mind to meditation. And actually it has an important place. The reason that it has an important place is that time and again your body is tired from doing a lot of work, your speech is tired from doing so much talking, and your mind is all the more tired from too much thinking. And so all body, speech and mind are exhausted. It is a good time to take at least 1 minute break and allow your body and speech and particularly your mind to rest at ease. And actually, one of the most effective thing for, we're talking about we need to take a rest. One of the most effective means to rest is meditation. Allowing one's body, mind to occur naturally, rest. And so in this way, that if you can incorporate this into your life, that this would be of much benefit. And so, for instance, that time and again in between work, taking a moment to bring mindfulness. And mindfulness is so very important, so very beneficial. And like for instance, you have the situation where that you are so exhausted physically and mentally, and now unlike others who don't have such understanding, then you say, oh yes, I have a way out of this. I have a means. And that is this special means of bringing mindfulness, through that allowing the body and mind to rest. And so that sort of bringing it here and there in your work, 1 minute, 2 minutes, whatever you can, and whenever you can. And then the practice, the primary purpose of the practice of meditation is towards the experience of Buddhahood. And while you do that for purpose, there is so many benefit immediately that in your life, in a very practical way, not just having to wait until such a long time. In your day-to-day life, if you apply this such means, then this can help one's mind to rest. Now, normally when other people in general, when okay, now so much work and exhaustion and so forth, need to take a break, rest. Then they go to the ocean, or they climb mountains, and they go to whatever places to eat and so forth. In the way, an idea of resting. But if you know how to meditate, then the actual way is to stay home and then allow the body, allow the mind to rest. That is the best way to have a good rest.
공다 나라 랩네 냐가르다 가마치 니츠 삼로 당야치레 가레스나 다 다낭가 동아 랑빗네 갑수 네 룽아 예순제 아니 셈제라다 네 페바 강톱도 노바 강톱도 빵게 이비냐 담제바이 마 다들 담제바 나히에 들으는데 니모 아니 다 셈제라 페바 강톱도 노바칸데 제도 개된 노반라고 종여나 에 담제바 나히 다 담자던 갈도 와세 소소세나 대세니야다 제 만들어다 뭐서 왔어 다 담제바 나히 내가 그때서 소소 강도도 있는 팬바라고 종여나 야 보셔라서 가리 제수이랑세 다스는 휴다세 방 다 강다르제네 제 말아도 제 논주라고 종나 다 친절히 말하는 나라 지금이 사비 담자책 땅 애니 개와 강 줘봐대 다 샘제 탐제 애니 남제 조배 상제지 공부하는 거지 톱이야 요라다 로바쇼 사비게 애니 뭐와 뭐남 약고지 쎄쎄 뭐와 뭐남 쇼 타고지 애니 난다 되게 저 가만히 있으면 마도 때내 되는 거도 말봐 대체도 다 니마제가 애니 가만히 쫓아지래 tendency 좀 나도 밑에 나가서 남자체 톱바 예나양 대추기 문에 전에 있는 양가랑 줄용아 예수나 팬도인 거래.
So in this way, in the evening, after you come back from work, and then it's time for retiring for the night. And before retiring for the night, make a simple act of reflection. In the morning, I made the resolve that to the best of my ability, that I will not harm others through my body, speech, and mind, or try to avoid harming or creating the cause for harm. At the same time, I made the resolve to benefit others through my body, speech, and mind. So, how have I fared? How have I done? And so, then to make a sincere reflection. And then upon the reflection, when you find out that, yes, here and there, you harmed, you sort of failed to live up to the resolve, then it is important to acknowledge, to accept that there is something that you need to work on. And then if you have done pretty well, so to speak, and beneficial activities and what have you, it's a cause for sort of cheering up and rejoicing for the virtue that you have been able to gather. So in this way, reflection or sort of checking up on yourself is very important. So at the end, basically, whatever mistakes, untoward activities one has done that one reinstate the resolve that in the future one will not sort of fall for such, or one will do better. And whatever virtue that one has accumulated, amassed, and one sincerely and joyfully dedicate them for the greater well-being of fellow beings, sentient beings, and that eventually such accumulation of virtue may result into the enlightenment of all beings, of being able to bring all beings into the state of enlightenment, or that of Buddhahood. And so if you make that sort of conclusion, sort of close in a virtuous way, through reflection and dedication, again, how long can this take? 2 minutes, not more than 3 minutes. So what I have told you, shared with you, how you can start the morning and so on, until now, and the retiring for the evening, this can't take more than 10 minutes. So if you can do this on a daily basis, that which is so virtuous, so beneficial, but can only take 10 minutes, well, then it might be worth the whole world to do it. And so this way, I would not only share this with you, but impart this to you, but also would encourage that you embrace this. So I actually have wished to share a number of things with you, but obviously there's no time. But nevertheless, just one point that I want to share with you is, if you are able to do this 10 minutes continuously, you would be sowing an incredibly wonderful seed. That in the midst of all of your work and responsibility and everything, if you are able to sincerely dedicate or 10 minutes every day and consistently, by the time you retire, and you will be able to do 10 hours every day. Because you have nothing else to do. So you will be able to do 10 hours a day. And right now maybe 10 minutes is difficult, but still you manage it. And so when you retire, you'll be able to do 10 hours. So if not 10 hours, at least you'll be able to do a few hours. Of course, if you're able to do 10 hours, how marvelous. But if you're able to do few hours, which is very much possible, because what else to do, in terms of meaningful. So, in this way, and so right now what are you doing is, you are not only doing something very wholesome, virtuous, but you are sowing the seed for greater virtue that you can amass in the future.
나랑서 밑에 소비 난도 두 견도 당나서 삼로 당야 기체주라 아니 당나서 제 신앙 노주게 뭐본데 탐지 깨적깨적 되는 견도고요 메다 베라는 게 봐. 당나서 삼로 당기 기타는 같이 뭐래 메다 봐 새끼 당 나랑서라 빼나 있는 이마저라 때 깔래 갖고 기본 해봐 진짜 좋은 내가 라 용돼요. 내가 배랑기래. 그 유리 추제래. 근데 전에 내가 배 꼴라 삼보 망고 땅도 바이나 디양 안서 다 만들 받아 동안 첨부 지정에 내가 라 양 디기 삼바 디기 양티 지카데 면도 받이 세팅을 또 그래. 즉 아니 나는서 딱 코르반데 동안이랑 해 봐. 딴낭나 때지 즉 내지라고 요래. 즉 푼숨 소바라고 저기는 딴낭나 저기는 은혜한테 내지 푼숨 소바 따고 지 요래 때 이나 뒤 내지 때 따고 때마다 아니요 막 깨지게 연도 그래. 좋아. 가상에 대해 백지 보고 자고 있다. 다 들으면 마대 완다고. 들으면 마대 완다고 저는 양상이 동안 요도 와. 돈 코르반데 그 동안이랑 해 봐. 땅 메다 베랑게 엠바 아 데니 난수 니트 처베 난도 두두네 야 되는 달와나 발템나 유나 아 디키 박 펜도요레 또다 만들 받아 동안 먹고 다 거기랑 게래 거 거기 추니에 거기가 동안이랑 게래 메다 베랑게래서 고삼로 땅에서 지어라 다 메다 바땅 애니 야지 거르베데 동안이랑 게 엠바 삼로 땅 마도 마이나 도저 참 만들고 왔지 좋아하는 때 할래 근데 내가 내서 봤다고 되네 용도아 뒤 녀볼라 나는 두다 넘버 건데 근데 메타 바당 근데 동안지랑 이게 어따 땡하는 좀 밑에 속에 나라 이제 삼모탕주 기타는 같이 붙여요.
Another thing I would like to share with you that is actually very pertinent in our life is that one is that we must appreciate and recognize the fact that everything in the world around us is impermanent and constantly transitory, changing. And that's a matter of fact. So, when you are able to stay with that, and then when you are faced with, suddenly it seems, you're faced with a tremendous difficult challenge, then of course, instead of like, it shouldn't be possible, it should be more, of course. Such is the reality of change. Such is the reality of impermanence. And so in this way, when you are able to, everything, all phenomena are constantly changing, transitory and impermanent. And therefore, as an expression of impermanence, a serious wave of change happens. For instance, in the way of suffering, and or something not, working out, because it's not all within your control for things to work out. If things just don't work out because of their impermanent nature, and you're faced with whatever suffering, and you understand this is the way things work. It's nothing unusual. Then by appreciating, recognizing their changing and impermanent nature, you're able to sort of be above, stay above the problem, stay above the difficulties. You don't get sort of drowned in that problem. And the other important thing is to realize that actually the cyclic existence that we live in is actually full of suffering. And only as far as appearance goes, just appearance, looks like things are well, things are kind of relatively joyful or pleasant. The reality is different. For instance, that this seemingly happiness is subject to change all the time. And then it becomes suffering. And actually, in both ways. And so, what has been a good day yesterday, today is an unpleasant one. And then tomorrow happens to be a different one, and so forth. So in this way, that this is the very nature of the cyclic existence, a vicious cycle of sufferings. So in this way, when you are able to, this is not matter of sort of trying to swallow a big belief that it's real. It's impermanent. It's just a matter of reality. And it's constant, because of constantly changing nature, it's source of suffering. When you understand and accept this matter-of-fact reality, then when things happen, that you are not in a state of, shock. And it's like, no, right now, because we don't see the impermanent, we don't appreciate the impermanent and suffering nature, when untoward things happen, we're in a shock. And we feel that just because that's not supposed to happen, it feels unbearable. But if you realize these things happen all the time, that's just a matter of fact, then obviously you would have a very different approach to it. And so in one's everyday life, these are very important tools that for one to be able to live a more sort of sane life. Okay, so okay, now I think that's all the time we have. Probably you have some questions, but we should end here.